Every morning, before the coffee is ready, many hundreds of millions of people around the world pick up their phones. They open one special app. This app holds great power. It can help start big changes in countries, like revolutions. It can also cause problems for people's lives. Users scroll through important news, arguments between famous people, and statements from world leaders. They see new scientific facts, funny pictures called memes, and moments of deep human sadness. All these things come in short, quick messages. They scroll through arguments that can make big changes in society, and jokes that can even affect governments. They just keep scrolling, hour after hour. This app is now known as X, but many people still call it Twitter. The true story of how it began and became what it is today is not a simple, clean story. It is much stranger, more dramatic, and more complicated than the easy, made-up stories that tech companies often tell. This book will take you on a journey to discover the real story. You will learn about friendship and betrayal. We will look at secret company plans, big world events, and a wild takeover by a very rich man. We will also learn about a person whose name most people have never heard. But this person gave the app the very word that became its famous name and entered dictionaries around the world. This is the untold story of Twitter, full of unexpected turns and hidden truths. It all started as a simple side project.
How did this small idea become such a powerful digital tool? How did it turn into something that could even be called a digital weapon, able to start big movements and change lives? And who was the true creator, whose name was removed from history, whose important contribution was forgotten so that others could receive all the credit and money? We will uncover these hidden secrets together, setting the stage for a story of ambition, innovation, and forgotten heroes. 2. The Lost Friend. In 2005, a company named Odeo was in trouble. It was a startup that worked with podcasts, but Apple, a very big company, started its own podcast service. This made Odeo's business fall apart quickly. Investors were worried, and the company looked like it would close. Evan Williams, the boss of Odeo, asked his team for new ideas. During one meeting, a young engineer named Jack Dorsey had an idea. He thought, what if people could share short updates with friends using text messages? It was for quick messages like, "What are you doing now?" Noah Glass, another person at Odeo, liked this idea very much. He believed in it and worked hard to make it real. Others were not as excited. At that time, Noah was also having a difficult personal divorce. The project became very important to him, a reason to keep working and hoping. Noah wanted a perfect name for the project. He looked through a physical dictionary for many hours.
He wanted a name that sounded like the product: fast, light, and alive. Finally, he found the word Twitter. It meant the quick, soft sounds a small bird makes. The name was exactly right. For a time, the service even ran from Noah's laptop. But this happy time did not last. A betrayal happened. Noah wanted to make Twitter a separate company and lead it. He felt that Evan Williams did not like his growing influence. Noah confided his fears to Jack Dorsey, who he thought was a friend. Noah did not know that Jack Dorsey was secretly working against him. Dorsey believed Noah should be fired and even threatened to quit if Noah stayed.
He acted like Noah's friend, but planned his removal. Because Evan Williams had the power and money, he fired Noah from Twitter in 2006. Everyone knew that Twitter would not exist without Noah's work. Noah left with only a small amount of money and very few shares in the company. Years later, when Twitter became very successful and went public in 2013, Jack Dorsey and Evan Williams became very rich. But Noah Glass, who named Twitter and worked with such passion, received almost nothing. Dorsey started to remove Noah's name from the story of Twitter's beginning. Noah felt very hurt, betrayed by people he had trusted. His story shows how loyalty can disappear when money is involved. With the true creator pushed out into the cold, who would control this new blue bird? This app had great potential.
The app grows fast. After Noah Glass left, the app started to grow very fast. A big moment was in 2007 at the South by Southwest Festival, a large event for new technology. Many tech people learned about Twitter there. They quickly saw how useful it was for sharing short updates. Soon, over 60,000 messages were sent each day. This early exposure helped the app become famous beyond its small group of creators. But fast growth also brought big problems. The website often stopped working because too many people were trying to use it at once. When this happened, users would see a picture of a cartoon whale being lifted by small birds. This image was called the fail whale. It quickly became a well-known symbol of Twitter's early struggles and showed that the app often crashed under heavy load. For years, the fail whale was almost as famous as Twitter itself. It highlighted the constant threat of the app collapsing when there was a major global event. For example, on January 15, 2009, a plane made an emergency landing on the Hudson River in New York City. A passenger named Janice Crumbs quickly shared a photo and news on Twitter. This showed that Twitter could break news faster than traditional media like TV or newspapers. But such big events also pushed the app to its limits. Many of Twitter's most important ideas came from its users, not from the company's team of tech experts.
For example, people started using the @ symbol to tag or talk to other users directly in their messages. Users also began to type RT to show that they were sharing someone else's message with credit. Later, Twitter made a special button for this retweet action, making it a core part of the platform. The hashtag, a clever way to group related messages by topic, was also a user idea. A user named Chris Messina suggested using the @ symbol in 2007. At first, Twitter staff thought this idea was too nerdy and wouldn't be popular. But soon, hashtags were everywhere, not just on Twitter, but on many other apps too, changing how people found information. These important ideas, born from everyday users, helped make Twitter special and different. Behind the scenes, the company faced chaotic changes in leadership. Jack Dorsey, who was the CEO, was pushed out in 2008. Then Evan Williams took over the role, only to be replaced in 2010 by Dick Costolo. In 2015, Jack Dorsey returned as CEO again, a comeback full of drama. This revolving door of leaders worried investors greatly. They asked a big question that haunted the company for years. How would this popular app ever make real money? Unlike Facebook, which found a clear advertising model almost from the start, Twitter struggled for a long time to create a strong way to get revenue from ads. The company went public in 2013, with its shares traded on the stock market. However, the initial excitement quickly faded, leading to years of disappointing financial results and missed goals. 4. Changing the world. Twitter became more than just a simple tool for daily updates. It grew into a powerful force that changed the world. Between 2010 and 2012, people across the Middle East and North Africa used Twitter during the Arab Spring uprisings. These were big protests for democracy. People used Twitter to organize large gatherings and share important information quickly. They uploaded videos of themselves protesting and speaking out against unfairness, broadcasting these moments to a global audience. This form of citizen journalism, where everyday people shared real-time, unfiltered content, turned observers into activists. Twitter played a key role in making these powerful movements spread. However, this great power also revealed a dark side. Some experts later pointed out that social media, including Twitter, also helped governments fight against these revolutions. The very tools that helped protesters connect also allowed powerful governments to watch, find, and arrest those same people. For instance, in Egypt, the same quick information sharing that organized protests in Tahrir Square also helped the authorities identify participants.
The speed of Twitter, which was so good for breaking news, was equally good for spreading lies and false stories. The openness that gave a voice to people who were not usually heard also gave a loud voice to extremists, people with bad plans, and state-sponsored groups spreading misinformation. During the Iran election in 2009, the hashtag #IranElection helped supporters organize, but it also became a target for government action. By 2016, Twitter had become the main way a very important global leader communicated, Donald Trump, the President of the United States. He used the platform to speak directly to his millions of followers. He did not need traditional news channels. He announced new government policies, shared his thoughts in real time, and even attacked his opponents, sometimes late at night. This completely changed how political leaders communicated in modern times. Some people saw this as a positive step, a leader speaking directly to the people without filters. Others worried that it removed important checks and balances in a democratic society. Twitter also became a powerful tool for social justice movements. The Me Too movement in 2017 saw millions of survivors share their stories of sexual harassment and abuse. This led to many powerful figures in entertainment and politics losing their positions. The Black Lives Matter movement also used Twitter to organize protests, document police brutality, and change public opinion about important social issues on a very large scale. Despite these positive impacts, Twitter also became a place where harmful content grew. False theories about events like school shootings spread quickly. Organized groups used the platform to harass journalists and politicians. Foreign governments used Twitter to create disagreements during elections. It also helped push vulnerable young people towards extreme ideas. The platform was, at the same time, a global meeting place and a toxic echo chamber of arguments and dangerous thoughts. This digital town square started to become full of noise and false information. It was clear the platform needed a savior. But the person who would answer this call might actually be the biggest problem the platform had ever faced. 5. The rich man steps in. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, had used Twitter for many years. He thought the platform was not good enough. He felt it stopped some voices and had too many fake accounts. Musk also believed he could run it better. In January 2022, he started buying shares.
By April, he owned more than 9% of the company. Twitter asked him to join its board, but he said no. On April 14th, Musk offered to buy Twitter. The company's leaders did not want a hostile takeover at first.
But on April 25th, they agreed to his offer of $44 billion. This huge deal surprised many people. The story did not end there. In July, Musk tried to stop the deal. He said Twitter did not deal with spam accounts well. Twitter sued him. But then Musk changed his mind again. He decided to buy the company. On October 28, 2022, the deal was done. Musk walked into the Twitter office carrying a kitchen sink. He tweeted, "Let that sink in." It was a strange and dramatic moment. After Musk took over, big changes happened quickly. He wanted to save money, so he fired about 75% of the staff. Thousands of employees lost their jobs overnight. Engineers found their computer access blocked in the middle of the night. Important teams, like those for safety and human rights, were removed entirely. Many advertisers became worried. They stopped putting their ads on the platform. They were concerned about the job cuts and what Musk's idea of free speech meant for the platform's rules. Data quickly showed a big rise in hate speech. Some offensive words were used almost 500% more. Posts about Jewish people also increased greatly. The company seemed to be in big trouble, losing money and trust. Musk called himself a free speech absolutist, but his ideas often caused problems. He seemed to protect voices he liked and silence others. For example, Twitter stopped people everywhere from seeing tweets by an Indian journalist in response to a government request. This was a new and controversial move. The company also changed its verification system, which helped confirm who people were. Now, users could pay for it, making it harder to know who was real. This worried officials like the FBI. With the platform in such a chaotic state, many wondered if it could survive its new owner's unusual way of running things. 6. The end of the bird. On July 23, 2023, a big and surprising change shook the digital world. The globally famous blue bird logo, a symbol recognized by billions, suddenly vanished. In its place came a stark black and white letter, X. The much-loved name Twitter was also officially retired. What people once called tweets were now simply posts. The very act of tweeting, a verb so common it had entered dictionaries, became obsolete. This sudden rebranding caused confusion and debate across the internet. This drastic move was driven by Elon Musk. He had a long-standing obsession with the letter X, going back decades. His interest in X dates back to 1999, when he launched an online bank named X.com. This early company later merged with another, becoming part of what we now know as PayPal. Musk was eventually removed from that company's leadership.
For him, acquiring Twitter and renaming it X was like finally completing a deeply personal, decades-old vision. He dreams of making X an everything app, much like China's highly successful WeChat. This super platform would combine many services: social media, messages, payments, banking, and even online shopping, all within one single app. The launch of the new logo was quick and highly chaotic. Musk announced his plans to change the Twitter brand just one day before it happened. He even asked his followers on the platform to help design a new logo. One fan posted a video showing a white X on a glitchy black background. Musk liked this design and, incredibly, began using it as the official logo the very next day. So the new public face for a platform used by hundreds of millions of people was chosen almost overnight by public crowdsourcing. This major change had a strong negative impact on the company's finances. Many large companies that bought advertising space on Twitter became worried. They quickly stopped their ad campaigns in 2023. As a result, the money X earned from advertising dropped by more than 50%. The company's total revenue fell sharply from over $5 billion in 2021 to roughly half that amount in the years following the acquisition. Despite these significant financial troubles and widespread criticism, the platform did not collapse as many critics had predicted.
By mid-2025, approximately 557 million people were still using X every month worldwide. Users continued to generate around 500 million new posts daily. People still scroll, share their opinions, break news, and experience moments that spread quickly across the global conversation. How long can X continue to survive by relying on the memories and habits formed during Twitter's past? 7. The new fight. After Elon Musk bought Twitter and changed it to X, a new competition began. Many large companies and smaller apps started fighting to get X's users. Meta, which owns Facebook and Instagram, launched a big new app called Threads in July 2023. Threads quickly became popular and got hundreds of millions of users because it linked to Instagram profiles. Other new apps also joined this fight. Blue Sky, for example, was an idea that started inside Twitter itself. It grew into an independent platform with tens of millions of users. People liked Blue Sky because it promised a friendlier online space. Mastodon, a different kind of network, also saw many people move to it. These users were looking for an experience like the old Twitter after Musk's changes. But even with these new apps, none have truly taken X's place. This is because of something called the network effect. This means that the more people use an app, the more useful it becomes for everyone.
Important conversations, famous people, journalists, and urgent news often still happen on X. It is very hard to convince millions of people to switch to a new app at the exact same time. X is still active partly because of its strong name and reputation from the past 18 years. However, this may not last forever. X is now seeing fewer users, less money, and lower ad sales. Younger apps like Blue Sky and Threads are growing faster, which shows the challenge X faces. Elon Musk is trying new ways to keep X important. He is adding his company's AI chatbot, Grok, directly into the X platform. This move could give X special capabilities that other social media apps do not have. People wonder if an AI helper inside a social app is what users want for future communication. No one can say for sure if this plan will succeed. X has also started to pay people who create popular content. This creator revenue sharing program gives money to influential creators if their posts get a lot of attention from X Premium subscribers. In the past, people gained influence on Twitter through clever ideas or good information. Now, some of that influence can be bought or rewarded with money. This is a very big change for how people use the platform. With truth and public attention now having a price, is X showing us the future of the internet, or is it simply spending money on its own goodbye? The path ahead for X is uncertain. This new battle for online users has just begun, and everyone is watching to see which app will dominate the social media world. 8.
Final thoughts. This book has told the interesting story of a powerful app. It began with a lost friend and grew into a global tool. We have seen how it changed the world, for both good and bad. This story makes us think deeply about important ideas like ownership, truth, and digital democracy. We must remember Noah Glass. He was the man who worked so hard to build Twitter. He searched a dictionary to find its perfect name. His work changed how people talk around the world. Yet he was pushed aside and his name almost forgotten. His sad story shows how often creators do not get the credit or money they deserve in the fast tech world. Today, one very rich person owns this huge place where global conversations happen. This makes us ask, is this safe? When one person can change all the rules of how we speak and share information, it can be very dangerous for our democracy. There are no clear rules or independent oversight. We need to think about who truly decides what hundreds of millions of people see and hear. The platform, first Twitter and now X, has done amazing things. It helped people unite for change and shared news faster than ever. But it also spread many false stories and hateful ideas. The same speed that makes it great for truth can also make it great for deception. This is a big problem that is hard to fix.
Through all these changes, the app keeps running. It is like an endless digital river of words. Every minute, millions of jokes, sad cries, breaking news, and simple messages flow. This river shows what happens when everyone on Earth can speak at the same time. It is loud, surprising, and always moving. This journey from a small idea to a global force teaches us much about technology, power, and human nature. What do you think is the most important legacy of this platform? And what kind of digital world do we want to cultivate next?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.